Scene 109, Interior, Lamech's chamber, night. The choir, dressed in black, fading into the shadows of the walls, coo and awe, in a spell-casting chant. Lamech lies in bed. Ambassador Talops holds a tray as Faeraud takes the fruit and quarters it with his long fingernails. He squeezes juice from the piece into a glass of water. Talops, to Aedon.
What you are doing is honorable and wise. We want to make sure Lamech returns to health quickly.
Faeraud snatches the tray.
The last thing he needs now is for any extra stress. Be good and follow my lead. Quietly.
As Aedon steps behind Faeraud, Athauslan places a hand on his shoulder, holding him back. He can go no further. Carefully, Faeraud lifts Lamech's head and tips the cup to his lips. First, just a droplet touches his mouth. His lips slowly part, and Faeraud pours in a few more drops. Lamech opens his eyes, licks his lips, and sputters a cough. The poison neutralizes, and life returns. He sits up as if he were a teenage boy again. He grabs Faeraud and throws his arms around him.
My son, you have returned to me. Days feared lost.
As Lamech and Faeraud hold their heads high, Aedon's shoulders sag with a sense of inferiority once again. Exterior, Iron, day. Bells ring from the towers where crowds gather in celebration. Spiral Legislature, day. The sun inches above a corner of the domed building. A line of princes marches inside, between two of its mammoth pillars. Interior, Spiral Legislature, day. At the top, the Etruscans take their seats. For the first time, Faeraud marches in on the top level, causing more than a few jaw-dropping awes. He positions his princely garment, taking a seat. Satisfied, proud, with a smug look.
Mestor isn't grumpy today. Has Prince Lord Lamech named someone?
Lamech proclaimed that he who brought him a cure will be named his successor.
Let the voting to affirm Faeraud commence.
There is a round of cheering from all the princes sitting on the lower levels.
Those in favor?
The first 6 Etruscans raise their hands, affirming the vote. As the turn circles to Etruscan, Atoshathe, whispering to Elasipus.
Gilgamore is the rightful heir, not this silly piece of sea muck. His greed would return us to the days of the territorial quarrels.
If the 3 of us vote no, the proposal is dead anyway. Certainly Avamon feels the same way. Probably stronger than the 2 of us together.
The 2 Etruscans withhold their vote. After a spot of chatter, all eyes are on Evamon. The voters hold their breath. Evamon, raising hands slightly.
I affirm.
Another cheer echoes in the chamber. Lamech gets up. Across the balcony, Atiana stands, lowering her head slightly while focusing her intense eyes on him. The room quiets.
I will place a stay on the matter to allow for further consideration.
You cannot break your oath, father.
Mestor, jumping up.
A stay? You almost left the land abandoned and without an appointed replacement.
Whispers suggest how you came by this fruit.
All great leaders have assistants.
An heir you may be by my death, but without a blessing until your brother has returned to the land.
Lamech turns and departs.
Gilgi, how I despise him.
The legislative floors begin to empty. Interior, Faeraud's chamber, Evening. Softly, Aedon sneaks in. Faeraud fidgets with the transglossed astrology map, trying to move an image of the Asterian moon.
If this blasted Asterian moon wasn't orbiting here, the stars would proclaim me the new ruler to rise. Those Asterians are always in the way.
Aedon steps in further, his sandals heard. Faeraud, turning.
Aedon? Apahai...
I was passing by, thought I would inquire. Was wondering what became of the remainder of the fruit we brought back.
Faeraud puts his arm around the boy.
Aedon!
Aedon steps back, Faeraud's arm dropping.
The piece has been safely moved to a safe location. A secret vault.
Where? The iron isolation?
Passing the mirror, Faeraud snatches the rapt-looking scope Aedon left earlier. Thrusting it into his gut, he walks Aedon to the door.
My father's look...
You need a holiday. Take a rest, my smart owl.
After Aedon is gone, Faeraud kneels in front of the dark mirror, its reflection still a void.
I like Aedon, but what if Lamech favors him over me? I must be the next king of Atlantis.
The mirror speaks.
No one will get in the way of my plan.
There are other ways to make sure Lamech expires.
Corridor. Evening. Standing outside the door, Aedon listens to Faeraud's last remark. Dumar the duck waddles toward a nearby door that leads out to a balcony. Aedon takes off after him. Exterior. Irem. Evening. The city lights twinkle in the distance as Dumar jumps onto the balcony wall.
I've never seen such dealings in all my life. Teachings from the Educatory are forgotten like sand under the sea.
Change coming. Lots of talk about a war. A war of enchantments.
There is not going to be a war of enchantments. Not now. Not in my day.
There is a dark magic already brewing in the air. My duck's feathers can feel its ruffle.
Aedon leans on the balcony, watching the two moons set. A moment later, he stands, half unwrapping the looking scope. He peers into its lens.
The magic is going back into its holder. At sunrise, we leave for Bashan. I must find my father, Gilgamore.
Wind tosses through Aedon's hair. The two moons notch lower over a distant snowy glacier, perhaps where his father resides. Looking scope view. We move toward that glacier as the credits roll. Fade to black.